Let's set the record straight sometimes. The people you least expect are the ones who'll try to ruin your life. And not in some movie villain way either. I'm talking about your neighbor, the guy with the perfect lawn and the world's most punchable clipboard. Out of nowhere, a regular morning turns into a full-blown showdown at the end of my own street, 3 HOA board members' chests puffed out blocking my truck like it's Fort Knox. And right at the center of it all, Bryce Kellerman gripping that damn clipboard so hard you'd think it held the launch codes. If he expected me to hand over the code to my safe, he must have thought I'd left my backbone somewhere in Afghanistan. 15 years defusing bombs in a war zone and now back home facing down a lawyer who thinks he's God's gift to suburbia. Diesel engine idling boots on the hot asphalt. I step out, lean against the truck, and let him know in no uncertain terms that he's blocking my exit. That's called false imprisonment, Bryce. He goes so pale I wonder if I'll need to call 911 for him instead. Here's the part nobody saw coming. Not even the FBI. The truth is, if some HOA board tried to extort your vault code at sunrise, most folks would cave, maybe out of fear or shock. Me. My Army training kicked in, and that's when the story really got interesting. Backing up a bit. Name's Spencer Thornfield. 2 tours in Afghanistan. Explosive specialist, brought all my limbs home and a head full of instincts for spotting trouble. 3 years ago, I bought myself a little piece in Willowbrook Estates, corner lot, single gate pool, landscaping, low maintenance living, or so the brochure said. For a little while, it was perfect. Then Bryce Kellerman moved in straight out of central casting for ambitious HOA president. Within weeks, he's running for office, raising fees, inventing new rules, and dragging his wife Stephanie into it. Suddenly, grass height and mailbox numbers are federal offenses. At first, it's almost funny. Then the HOA fee jumps from $50 to nearly $300 a month, and the whole place feels like a reality show nobody asked for. But I keep my head down, pay up, travel for work. Who needs more drama, right? Turns out minding my business isn't enough. Somebody reports my gun safe, claims I'm stockpiling weapons, running some kind of operation. Police come out, poke around, then realize it's just a vet trying to be left alone. Detective Ray Martinez, a fellow Marine, shrugs it off. Some people watch too much TV. That should have ended it. But Bryce, he's just getting started. Next thing I know, Emergency Inspection Authority is on everyone's lips. My property's up for monthly checks. My schedule gets scrutinized. My perfectly legal F-150 is accused of intimidating children. These people try to make a beige truck sound like an armored vehicle. That brings it back to the blockade. I'm sitting at the exit watching a big contract evaporate because 3 middle-aged men think they can pressure me into giving up my safe code. While I'm arguing with Bryce, Dolores Ramirez walks over, 82, hunched from arthritis, but sharper than anyone in the room. She whispers, "They ruined the Hendersons. Harassed them out, made them sell cheap. Turns out I'm just the latest target. Military families keep getting squeezed until they're gone. Always the same pattern. Looking around, it hits me. These aren't accidents or misunderstandings. It's a campaign. Harassment disguised as policy. Corner lot snatched up by Kellerman's friends. Now it's my turn. The switch flips. Old military instincts light up. 3 days later, I come home to find 3 new cameras trained right on my yard, blinking red. Bryce, clipboard clutched tight, says it's for the community. Anonymous complaints, of course. Now drinking coffee on my porch counts as suspicious activity. They start driving by, constantly photographing everything. Bryce tails me in his Prius, subtle as a parade float, snapping photos at red lights. They think they're running a spy operation, but it's just amateur hour. That's when I decide to turn the tables. I upgrade my own security, motion sensors, audio, the whole works. Then I tap my old contacts people who know how to follow the money. Turns out, homeowners have a legal right to HOA records. I file a formal request, and Bryce nearly faints. I also call the HOA's insurance, report the cameras. The agent tells me if they aren't gone in 72 hours, coverage is canceled. Suddenly, Bryce isn't so smug. Isn't. What my background check digs up would be funny if it weren't so sad. Suspended law license, fake companies, thousands skimmed straight from our fees. Janet Holbrook, retired teacher, helps organize it all. Together we connect the dots, the same harassment cycle, military families, always the targets, forced sales to shell companies linked to Kellerman. We gather the neighbors at the American Legion. I lay out every bank record, every harassment log, every shady contract. The energy shifts, neighbors go from confused to furious. We sign a recall petition, contact authorities. Bryce responds by doubling down flyers, accusing me of weapons trafficking, trying to whip up fear. Then it gets personal. My biggest contract call says they're pulling out Herd. I'm under FBI investigation. Bryce is leaking lies, destroying my business, my reputation, everything I've worked for. I dig in harder. More evidence. My contacts find even more Kellermans pulled this scam before in 2 other states. Every emergency is a setup for insurance fraud. Every property sale lines his pockets. He gets desperate. Breaks into my garage, tries to plant fake evidence. Prop guns, fake drugs, movie ammunition caught on my cameras from every angle. He even calls in a fake gas leak. Fire trucks swarm the street at 3 a.m. only for the fire chief to smell the BS a mile away. And then comes the moment I realize this isn't just a crooked lawyer. It's organized crime targeting veterans, flipping properties, laundering money, and cashing out on insurance. Every crisis is a payday. The real twist: Stephanie Kellerman, scared and exhausted, shows up with a banker's box of evidence. Every transaction, every fake invoice, every shell company, the HOA reserve fund, gone. Nearly $100,000 in actual bills owed, and every family driven out for security reasons was targeted because of their military service. He thinks you'll obey authority without question, she says. That right there is the bitterest lesson. But Stephanie's confession is the game changer. Turns out the insurance policy covers fraud if we can prove it. The insurance company teams up with us, and now we're armed with the one thing Bryce can't fight: receipts. We go public. Local media picks up the story. The FBI gets involved. Neighbors who were afraid to speak up finally rally. Bryce tries to bribe people, vandalizes my truck, and offers to waive HOA fees for loyalty. All of it's on tape. On recall election night, the community center's packed. I presented all audio-video documents. Bryce's own voice bragging about fleecing government sheep plays through the speakers. The FBI stands up, cuffs him right there for racketeering, wire fraud, harassment. His clipboard falls to the floor. Poetic justice. Money is recovered. HOA fees drop. Military families return. My business rebounds. Neighbors across the country start asking for advice. Janet and I get married on the corner lot he tried to steal. We adopt 2 kids, give them the stability their father died for. But what really matters isn't the court victory or the money or even the restored sense of peace. It's the lesson: when good people fight back, bullies lose. Community isn't just about location, it's about standing up together when it matters most. So here's my question: where's the line? When does following the rules become enabling injustice? When have you had to stand up and say, enough is enough, share your story? Because sometimes the difference between tyranny and justice is just one neighbor refusing to back down. And to every would-be bully hiding behind a rule book, don't forget you never know who you're really up against until you try to push them too far.
Cảm ơn các bạn đã xem video của mình.